Hi, I'm Theresa and welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing my 11th episode of my series Sapphic Reads. So if you don't already know, Sapphic Reads is a series where I recommend 5 sapphic books that I've read recently and absolutely adored. And you'll find a playlist link below with the first 10 episodes so you can get all the sapphic recommendations you could ever want or need. And just a little reminder that I have got a sapphic book club and sapphic Discord server, so make sure to check those out as well if you want to talk about some sapphic books. The Discord is very welcoming and open. There's like 600 members, so there's always a conversation going. You can chat about sapphic books and TV and films and everything, whatever you want, just all the time. It's a wonderful community space. I absolutely adore it. And the book club, I'll keep you updated on what the September to October pick is. I'll put it up here because I'm filming this in advance. But yes, just make sure to join and check out for some lovely sapphic book goodness. What more could you want? And now on to the books. First up I have got Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. This is a new adult coming of age story following Dr. Grace Porter, who has just got her PhD in astronomy, and she goes to Vegas to celebrate, and quite out of character for her, gets very drunk and marries a beautiful stranger. And this book really follows her just dealing with life after graduating and entering into the adult world eventually and feeling very behind her peers, because obviously a PhD takes a very long time, and navigating the job market, particularly as a queer black woman, and in STEM especially, and also just not being able to forget this woman that she married and wanting to connect with her again because they had this connection that obviously led them to get married. So this has just got the most beautiful writing. I am in awe of anyone who can write like this. I particularly felt that this just worked so well with this story and this character, and it's just this most lovely writing. You need to read it for yourself. I have got some quotes because they were just too gorgeous. And this book is often pitched as a romance, but I would say don't go into expecting it just to be a romance. This is so much more focused on Grace's character and her kind of coming into herself, coming of age, and this slightly older age than you get in your traditional coming of age novels, but I think it works so well here, and it's really a gap in the market of coming of age novels for people who come of age in early adulthood instead. Yes, the romance is not the main part, but the romance is still stunning. It's wonderful. The two women we've got here, Grace and Yuki, they work together so well. I loved reading their relationship. And also Yuki has this radio show where it's like talking about like lonely creatures and things, and it's just the most gorgeous thing, and it works so well with their relationship as well, and it's just, I am in awe of how pretty this book is. Like the cover, the writing, the characters, the relationship, everything is just so gorgeous. I love it. Next up we have got Rise to the Sun by Leah Johnson. So this is the author of You Should See Me in a Crown, and this is just as wonderful black girl magic, contemporary, everything that you could want. It is just incredible. Definitely check it out, especially if you already loved You Should See Me in a Crown. And yes, this follows two queer black girls who are attending a summer music festival, so it takes place over just a weekend. And these two girls are both at the festival looking for answers. And for Tony, this is answers on what she should do with her life, trying to find her place, really the same way her dad did years and years ago, especially following his very sudden death a few months ago. And Olivia is really dealing with the consequences of having several bad relationships, bad endings, and just struggling to deal with this, especially as she very much blames herself. And the two girls meet and they end up working together to solve this treasure hunt that the festival does with golden apples, and if you find them all you win a prize. And this, yeah, it takes place over a couple of days, but it didn't feel rushed at any point. Or their relationship didn't feel rushed. It felt so like perfect and natural, and I really enjoyed reading it. The kind of atmosphere that Johnson manages to capture with the festival and the live music and this very real human connection it creates was just so well done. I am so impressed, and it really just made me want to go to a festival like right now. I miss live music. I've been to one concert in my life and I miss live music, especially now. This is just good summer fun. It deals with a couple of heavier themes, but it's overall very lighthearted and just joyful. Just queer black girls living their lives. I loved it. It's just a really good book. Next up is Love and Other Natural Disasters by Misa Sugiura. Now this is the perfect summer rom-com contemporary novel. I loved it so much. And this follows 4 queer girls of colour, which I also adored. The main cast is entirely queer and people of colour. It's just a wonderful time. This follows our main character Nozomi going to San Francisco for a summer internship at an art museum. And there she meets 3 different girls and they all have this very complicated tangle of relationships. And Nozomi ends up really falling for this one girl who's just been broken up with by her girlfriend, and Nozomi proposes a fake dating scheme to date this girl to help her make her ex jealous, while Nozomi's real intentions are to make her fall in love with her, as you do in like rom-com films. And this does not exactly go to plan. It's a whole lot of fun, though. It's just living life, the kind of art museum internship life in San Francisco as well. So it's a lovely, great setting. And alongside all of the summer fun and messy sapphics, you've also got some really touching moments with Nozomi's family, as her grandmother is dealing with dementia and her parents have just divorced, and she's kind of dealing with all these relationships as well, and there's just some really lovely touching moments with them. And yes, I loved the romance in this book. I thought it was just pulled off so well. I loved how it turned the fake dating trope on its head. It was just good fun. Particularly if you've seen what I thought of Meet Cute Diary, it has a very similar concept, but I thought this one executed it so much better. So if you're kind of wary after reading Meet Cute Diary, or if you really enjoyed Meet Cute Diary and want to read something else with a similar concept, I can definitely recommend you pick this one up as well. It's just good summer fun. Really enjoyed it. And next up is After Love by Tanya Byrne. Now this is pitched as the lesbian love story you've been dying to read, which tells you everything you need to know, really. And I can tell you that this is no lie. It is indeed the lesbian love story I was dying to read. This follows Ash, who after a very tragic accident becomes a Grim Reaper, and she is determined to be with her first love, Poppy, her girlfriend from when she was alive, again. And so this book is split into 2 parts, the kind of before and after her death, and in the before we really follow her relationship with Poppy from them first meeting to them falling in love, they're planning for the future, and it's all so lovely. This romance is written so well, and I was just so in love with them. And it's also so like bittersweet too, because you know Ash is going to die from the synopsis, and they're planning for the future, and you're like, but you're not going to have a future, but it's just so lovely. I adore their relationship and Poppy, and they work so well together, and this book really would not work if this relationship wasn't so perfectly well done. I was just in love with it. But yes, Ash dies and she becomes a Reaper, and she joins this group of like fierce girl Reapers, and she just has to adjust to this new life that she's got, but she's so determined to see Poppy again because she's obviously still in love with her and she knows that she's grieving, and I just loved reading this book. And yeah, this book is just above all else, above all the supernatural paranormal elements, this is a love story. It's about 2 girls whose love transcends even death, and just the power of human connection and love and all of that. It's just so damn good, so lovely. I so completely recommend it for if you want to cry but also have an absolutely gorgeous relationship. Next up, I want to talk about The Dead and the Dark by Courtney Gold. So this is a YA kind of horror thriller mix, and it's so good. You follow 2 girls. You've got Logan, who is the daughter of TV ghost hunters, moving back to the small town where her dad's come from because some mysterious things are happening and they want to figure it out. And Ashley, who's like the town's golden girl, and she's mourning the disappearance of her boyfriend while also continuing to look for him because it was under very mysterious circumstances. And the 2 girls kind of fall in together as both wanting to solve this mystery, because Ashley wants to obviously know what's happening with her boyfriend, and Logan just wants out of town. She's fed up. It's a very small town. They're quite close-minded, and her dad's kind of return was not very well received. And this book just gets so good and dark and I really enjoyed it. I would say it's like a very much like a kind of slower burn, slower build to the creeping horror of it all. Definitely it comes to a grand finale, let's say that at least, and like it had me emotional as well. Like this book also deals so heavily with like family love and Logan's relationships with her fathers, and I loved this. It was just done so well. And that's what had me emotional at the end, was this love between father and daughter. I just loved it. And another thing I really enjoyed was this kind of dealing with compet that comes with living in such a small, close-minded town. Both of our main characters are lesbians, and I know I've already said that Ashley had a boyfriend, but this is really where the compet comes into play. And at least I very much read her as a lesbian. That's, I believe, how you're meant to understand it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I got it. And I find that exploration of compet so interesting, especially just in this setting, and her being the golden girl, expected to do everything right and, you know, just be the golden girl. And yes, just lovely, good horror that really was like creepy. And there's like this other narrator, which is the antagonist, and it's so creepy reading from that perspective, but it really just builds the tension so well, and it's just a really, really good book, and I really, really enjoyed it. And yes, that has been 5 books that I really loved and recommend. And as always, I'll have links to all of these books and my reviews where I have them in the description, as well as links to my book club and Discord if you haven't checked it out yet. And yes, just thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you with another video soon.